Tonight, counting begins after an historic vote in Queensland.
Going, gone.
A new era in local government, the birth of super councils.
This is the biggest change we've seen in very many years.
And thumbs up from the fans as the Gold Coast Titans christen their new stadium.
Go you Titans!
This is 7 News with Sharon Gadella.
Good evening. It's been an historic day in Queensland with voting to select new amalgamated local governments across the state. Polling booths have now closed and counting is just underway. 7 News reporter Michael Coombs is at Brisbane City Hall. Can Campbell Newman keep his job?
Well, Sharon, he is, of course, the most senior Liberal left in the country after recent elections, and it appears fairly certain that Campbell Newman will retain that title tonight. But, of course, the real battle of Brisbane has been out in the wards, where the Lord Mayor needs to win another 4 seats to take full control of City Hall.
Campaign workers were up early, putting up signs at polling booths.
Yes, like it there.
And Greg Rowell joined them, getting it over with early.
Feels good.
Mr Rowell was drafted into the Labor Party because no existing members wanted to take on Campbell Newman.
Got a good feeling about today. Got a good feeling about tonight. And look, I don't mind saying this is the biggest day of my life.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. I think it is. I think it's bigger than a wedding day.
Campbell Newman turned election day into a family outing, but his candidate for Central Ward almost missed out on his vote.
It's one in each.
Yeah.
Oh, yep, whoops, almost.
The confusion quickly cleared.
Going, gone.
The Lord Mayor appeared confident and relaxed, but insisted he's still deeply concerned he may not win a majority in the wards and could face a hostile council for another 4 years.
I really don't know what's going to happen. I'm sure we'll know in a few hours.
But he thinks he's worked out what went wrong last election. His lucky elephant's trunk had broken off. Nothing super glue couldn't fix.
He's going to keep his luck today, let's hope.
On the Gold Coast, voters were bombarded with a last-minute advertising blitz by the only Liberal candidate outside Brisbane. Tom Tate texted more than 20,000 people and left thousands more voice messages on voters' phones.
The amount of money is spent, I haven't really focused on that.
Yeah, I'm going to vote independent, but I think too much advertising.
Development has been the key battleground here. Sitting Mayor Ron Clark is tipping a close vote.
I'd be apprehensive, as you always do in the last lap of a race of any sort.
Further north in Logan, former Beattie Government Minister Tom Barton will soon know if his political comeback will last another 4 years. While in Ipswich, Mayor Paul Pasali is expected to be easily returned, but it's never too late for some last-minute campaigning. The election day stunt also raised $1,000 for the Leukemia Foundation. On the Sunshine Coast, Noosa Mayor Bob Abbott was all but claiming victory before voting even finished.
I'm more than confident and I'm preparing myself for next week now.
His only opponent, Maroochy Mayor Joe Natoli, also appeared confident.
I am absolutely committed to starting work on Monday and getting things rolling as quickly as possible.
The new Moreton Regional Council is also shaping as a battle between current mayors.
Hi, I'm Joy Leishman and I'm a mayoral candidate.
Each with their own power base.
I'm quite sure I'll get a very good result here in Redcliffe, but the further away from the peninsula, I guess the less that'll happen.
All they can do now is wait for the results.
And Sharon, those results should start coming in fairly shortly. Whoever wins here in Brisbane will come down to City Hall a little later on tonight to claim victory. But whether or not that person faces a hostile council remains to be seen. Sharon?
All right, thanks, Michael. Michael Coombs there at City Hall. Labor's only glimmer of hope in the Brisbane City Council election seems to be in the wards. State political reporter Patrick Condren is at Labor headquarters in South Brisbane. Patrick, what are their chances?
Well, Sharon, you toss the coin and I'll call heads or tails. It's that close. For Labor, the real battle has been in the suburbs and they're very worried that they might lose control of City Hall. In recent days, candidates have been distancing themselves from Lord Mayoral candidate Greg Rowell, and it seems he might have become the sacrificial political lamb for Labor in this campaign.
And Patrick, what about in other parts of Queensland? Do you think we're going to lose some good mayors there?
Oh, without doubt, Sharon. In fact, in Townsville, Tony Mooney has been the mayor up there for almost 19 years, and the race up there is very close. He could lose his spot, but for his mates in the state Labor government, for them this amalgamation process is all about effective and efficient local government.
They're responsible for roads, rubbish and rates, but from tomorrow morning, Queensland councils will never be the same again.
This is the biggest change we've seen in very many years.
The state government has slashed the number of councils from 157 to 73. Residents in coastal areas will see the most significant change. In the southeast, 18 councils have been reduced to just 10. The biggest of those amalgamations, the Sunshine Coast, the areas just north of Brisbane and around Boonah and Beaudesert.
They'll be covering more people in a bigger area, so it'll be a little bit less personal.
A point argued by anti-amalgamation campaigners, but the local government association says residents shouldn't notice too many immediate changes.
The phone will be answered day one, the garbage will be picked up, the lawn will be mowed, the basic things will still happen.
The mergers will cost about $200 million, plus there'll be a $15 million election bill. Political experts believe the bigger councils will be more powerful.
The larger the regions, the more clout they'll have.
So with councils getting bigger and stronger, is today the first step toward getting rid of the state government altogether, leaving us with just local and federal administrations.
Constitutionally, it can't. You'd have to repeal that clause of the Constitution, and the chance of getting a referendum through on an issue like that would be a snowball's chance in hell.
No matter what the consequences of amalgamations are, one thing won't change. They'll still be sending you a rates bill.
And Sharon, once the winners in these complicated amalgamated super councils are known, it shouldn't take too long for the administrations to start working properly. As for Labor Lord Mayoral candidate Greg Worrell, well, the fat lady hasn't sung yet, but she's certainly warming up her vocal cords.
Will she be singing the can-do theme? I guess all will be revealed soon. Thank you very much for that, Patrick. And tonight, after the news, we'll bring you the mayoral results for every council in southeast Queensland, and I'll have live updates throughout the evening. In other news, the husband of a missing Red